The doctors at the hospital tell you that your baby suffered hypoxia at the time of birth. What does that mean? You want to know what it means? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some incredible information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. So now you just had a baby, you're so excited, but you learn shortly after birth that the baby has a problem. The baby is not breathing well, the baby is not doing well. And now you want to know why. And you speak to the nurses, they don't have answers. And now you speak to the doctors who are coming in, the pediatrician, the neonatologist. And now they tell you something you've never heard before. We're sorry to tell you this, but your baby had an episode of hypoxia during the time that you were giving birth. Now you've never heard this term before, and you want to know, what does it mean? You ask them what it means, and they give you long-winded explanations with even more medical jargon that makes it more confusing. Let me share with you what the word hypoxia actually means. So when you hear the doctors use the term hypoxia, that means there's a decreased amount of oxygen that the baby received during the course of your birth. Depending upon how long that period of hypoxia, that diminished amount of oxygen was going on for, that may determine how much injury or damage your baby suffered as a result of whatever was occurring during the course of your birth. Now, why is this significant? If your baby does not have a sufficient amount of oxygen at the time of birth, a number of terrible things can occur. Number one, and the most critical thing, is that the baby can suffer brain damage, injury to the brain. Our brains require oxygen, and if our brain is not getting sufficient amounts of oxygen, now the baby can suffer significant brain injury, brain damage, and that can have long-term consequences for your child. So why do I bring this up? I bring this up because this happens from time to time, and now I'll get a call and a patient, a mother, will say, listen, the doctors told me my baby had hypoxia. What does that mean? And now I begin to explain to them that it's a lack of oxygen that occurred during the course of your labor and delivery. The question then becomes, why did the baby suffer that lack of oxygen? Why did the baby suffer that diminished amount of oxygen? Was there something there that the doctor should have recognized in order to see red flags, in order to see warning signs? So now they can take different steps to either deliver the baby immediately, or could they have done something else? Could they have turned you on the side? Could they have administered oxygen? What was the reason why your baby suffered this episode of not getting sufficient amounts of oxygen during the course of your labor and delivery? You know, I realize you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions in addition to knowing what's hypoxia, then what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.